All right, good day to everyone. You are joining the GL webinar here, and it's the top of the hour, so we'll go ahead and get started. First, I would like to welcome everyone to the April edition of our webinar series. And if you haven't been with us before, we try to do a webinar every month. Some are related to industry topics, white paper-ish type things, and some are introducing some GL products and talking about a product that we already have, things like that. So we kind of mix it up a little bit. Today we're excited to be introducing a new product, and it's in the voice and data testing arena here at GL. So the topic for this month is truly portable mobile phone testing, mobile phone device testing, so both for voice and data. My name is Matt Yost. Sort of be the moderator to some extent today, and I'm going to be joined here shortly by Rob Bashevsky and Sanjeev Kulkarni. Rob is our managing director of mobile device testing here at GL. So he's been involved for many years here with our voice and data quality testing products, been managing that group, and has been very familiar with those from the very beginning, and is going to be introducing our new product to you today. First thing I wanted to do is just introduce you to GL Communications if you're not familiar with us, and I'll do this very quickly. We've been around since 1986, so we're a pretty mature company. Our headquarters are located in Gaithersburg, Maryland in the United States, and we have branch offices in India and in China. And we have a very complete, I would say, presence throughout the world. So there's a lot of reps throughout the world, scattered throughout the world, that are probably local to you, and we can get you in touch with them and so forth if you need some local support. From GL, again, has been around since 1986, and we primarily have two divisions here at GL. One of them is a consulting services division, so we have a bunch of engineers and experts that do consulting work for local governments, state, local, federal government here around the Washington, D.C. area and the state of Maryland. But our primary focus, and a lot of our employees are dedicated to our test and measurement equipment. So we, as you know, probably we provide commercially available test and measurement telecom testing equipment, one of which you'll be seeing today, which is in the voice and data quality testing. So to get started, I wanted to first, before I hand over to Rob to introduce the new product, I wanted to take one or two slides here just to show you our current offerings, our current method of testing. And you may be familiar with this. This product is a mature product on the market now, and we're calling this product either the VQuad Probe, or Dual Utah. So VQuad is the software that runs this product, and the Dual Utah is the hardware within it. And again, it's all wrapped around this voice quality and data quality testing. So the product interfaces at the endpoints of the network. So we're trying to test, and all of these products are trying to test the true user experience. So if you're a user of a mobile phone, if you're a user of traditional old POTS phone, a two-wire line, we can test what the user's experience is with these products. And this VQuad Probe has many different interfaces on it, as you can see here. So traditionally, we have a two-wire line, so we can act as a true two-wire phone, a POTS phone, a FXO. We can test mobile devices, so we can interface via a Bluetooth connection. This product has built into it two Bluetooth connections, so it can interface to your mobile phone at one location via Bluetooth, make phone calls, send voice files, check data rates, bandwidth, things of that nature. We've adapted it to interface with mobile radios, we'll call them public safety and military radios, as well as traditional, I guess I'll say VoIP or SIP phones, desktop type phones. It can interface with basically between the handset and the phone. So again, testing the user's experience. We also have, within this product suite here that's been out on the market for a while, we have apps that run on iOS and Android devices and Windows devices that can test data testing and so forth with these smartphones and tablets and things. So that whole suite is there. It's a very mature product. It's been on the in the marketplace for many years now. Very successful product. All of this testing, regardless of the interface and how you're doing it, what mode you're testing and so forth, all of it kind of feeds back into sort of our reporting central location there, which is not a cumbersome extra piece of hardware. It can be just very local to where you're doing your testing, and then users can log in and see all of the data and sort the data and produce reports and logs and things of that nature. So it's very nice. This next slide kind of shows that a little bit more, and this slide is kind of dedicated to the applications of this existing product, VQuad Probe. So it shows that you can, if you're interfacing at mobile devices and public safety radios, you can actually do drive testing. So it's a drive testing product, as well as all of these interfaces here on the right-hand side that I mentioned before. It has a traditional, and I did not mention this, it has a traditional 4-wire balanced in and out. So this can be adapted to a lot of different devices. So any device, endpoint device that sends audio, or I'll just say video, or audio, video, data, things like that at the endpoint of a network, we've tried to adapt this product to test that interface. Okay. So the one thing that I will say about the product, the existing product, VQuad Probe, Dual Utah VQuad, is that we kind of consider this a semi-portable solution. So you can see it in the picture here. It's a 8-inch by 8-inch box, a little bit heavy considering 4 or 5 pounds. So if you need to do truly portable testing, if you want to actually do voice quality testing where you're walking around and things like that, this product might not be ideal. And that's why we've introduced the new product that we're about to show you here. So just wanted to say that. The density on the product, the current product with VQuad Probe, is higher as well. So you can actually, this VQuad will can interface up to 12 different devices at any one time. So with that said, I think I will pass this on to my colleague Rob Bashevsky, who the focus of this webinar is on this new product that we're calling vMobile, and I'm going to pass the presentation on to Rob.
All right, thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. Welcome to everybody. So as Matt was saying, our current product still exists, still will exist, and we keep updating it. It works great for lab tests. It works good for drive testing. It's semi-portable, but trying to use it during a walk test or a quick ad hoc test, it becomes a little bit more difficult. So we're introducing what we call our vMobile. This is an ultra-portable device. You can see it's handheld. It's rather small, and it's got a very simple design, but very powerful inside. Okay, so there's not much to see on this doesn't have a big screen or anything. It's not much to see, but it's very powerful inside. So you can take this vMobile pretty much anywhere you want. It's got a battery on board, and take it on in any type of vehicle, or walking around in your backpack, in your purse, in your wherever you want to go, in your pocket. You're ready to go with this unit, and as I mentioned, it has a battery, and it'll accept the standard phone charging batteries out there, so you have unlimited sources of power for it. So now, what does it do? That's the key. What does the vMobile do? Well, the vMobile has a couple of Bluetooth interfaces inside. So we're going to connect two mobile phones to the vMobile, and we're going to, as the VQuad does, we're going to be able to make calls and then send and receive voice through the phones. We're basically a headset to the phone, a Bluetooth headset, and we're going to perform testing, fully automated testing, a full array of analytical metrics, which I'll get into in a little bit after this. And then the vMobile also has Wi-Fi within, so that we can tether to one of the phones and then send all the results back to a central database in the same manner as the VQuad does. So it supports the two phones. It supports sending to the central database, and it also supports remote control. So full remote control, which I'll get into in a few minutes as well. So mentioning voice quality, that's great, but the vMobile can also perform or control the GL NetTest, which is what Matt was mentioning, the data testing that's on any mobile device, tablet, what have you. So that could be part of the scripting in the vMobile. So as the script is running, we could be performing voice testing, data testing on the same phones or in different phones. It doesn't matter. So it's actually communicating with what we call our mobile device controller back at a central system, telling that mobile device controller when to start or stop data testing for different phones. So full control from this one device. It also has onboard GPS. So the GPS chip is inside. Every event, every result is stamped with GPS location. Very important. It also uses the clock from the GPS to support one-way delay testing. So not only can we do the voice testing and several other audio metrics, but we can also do one-way and round-trip delay testing directly from the vMobile. Now, I mentioned that we can test mobile phones, so you can connect up to two mobile phones to the vMobile, and using the Bluetooth headset connection, you can control the phones and you can send and receive audio, no problems. We also have another interface on the vMobile, 4-wire analog. So when in that mode, when in the 4-wire analog mode, we can basically connect to any 4-wire analog device, basically a headset. So a TXRX headset. We can connect, we can transmit voice, we can receive voice. We can also connect to any mobile radio, because we're including PTT in this. So we can control the push-to-talk, key the radio, send voice, unkey the radio, receive voice, and that's all automated through the vMobile scripting. So again, so now we've got any mobile phone, any mobile radio, and any headset, all from this portable unit. So basically, again, any, as I mentioned, any mobile radio here, whether it's military or government, emergency services, any radio you want, we can basically create the cable from the physical cable from the vMobile to the radio, which will support the audio along with the PTT. So some of the highlights here, as I mentioned, we can support two Bluetooth devices. We also have an analog mode, which will support mobile radios or any 4-wire analog device. We also have another thing we have in the Bluetooth mode. We can connect to the analog port. So with the analog and the Bluetooth, you're in one mode or another. You're either in the Bluetooth mode or in the analog mode. But in the Bluetooth mode, we can actually use the analog port for monitoring the TX and the RX of the audio. So that's another thing we can do. You just plug a headset into there, and then you can monitor what's going on. The vMobile supports both narrowband and wideband operation. I'll get into that a little bit, but that means that any network, any mobile network, we can support that, whether it's the legacy networks or the voice over LTE, 5G, 6G, it doesn't matter. We can support it. And then we have Wi-Fi built into the vMobile so that you can connect to the central system. You can connect to any Wi-Fi a network, or you can pretty much just tether off of another phone and then connect to the internet in that way, and then directly reach the central system for control and for sending the results and such. And then full automation. So everything is done through through the vMobile scripting, automation of the call control, automation of the voice for voice quality or for other analytical metrics. And then all the voice files that we're recording, they get automatically transferred to the central system for analysis. So everything is done at the central system, and then the results are put into the database. Then you can access the database. So let me just go over quickly how we would operate and control the vMobile, because again, the vMobile doesn't have much of a screen. It doesn't have, there's not much on it. We wanted to make it very simple, so we figured, well, the best way to control it is through an app. So there is a vMobile app that will reside on any Android or iOS device, and that will actually control the vMobile. Now, what you're actually doing is if you look at this picture, the app is talking to what we call our console application, which is sitting somewhere in a central location, and then the console is talking to the vMobile, because the vMobile is constantly pinging the console. So the app doesn't care where the vMobile is. It can be right next to it, or it can be 1,000 miles away. Doesn't matter. The vMobile is constantly, as I mentioned, it's constantly pinging the console. So the vMobile app is always able to find the vMobile itself. And what can you do with the app? Well, you can load a script. You can start the script, stop the script. You can configure the vMobile, tell it where if the central system's IP has changed, you can tell it what the new IP is. You can set up the Bluetooth phones, so pair and connect the phones. All that's done through the app. And then the vMobile retains all that information. So once you start the script in the vMobile, it can automatically connect to a previously paired phone and then start the test, start placing the calls and so forth. Or it can switch modes to analog mode and then start performing, connecting to a mobile radio and performing tests in that manner. So everything is done through the script, and the app basically controls what script to run and when to run it and so forth. And in fact, the app can also, you can group vMobile. So you can say, okay, well, here's 10 vMobiles, and let's load and start the scripts all at the same time. So that can also be done. And the vMobile, when you're running the script on the vMobile, that script can actually control another vMobile. So we can actually talk to another vMobile or talk back to the console and tell the console to talk to somebody else. So full remote capabilities are all available, which is sort of taken from what we're doing with the VQuad today. The other thing the initial configuration, so you can see that on the screen here, we came up with the idea of, well, when you take the vMobile out of the box, how does the vMobile know how to connect to the Wi-Fi or what have you? So the initial configuration basically allows the app or the phone that the app is running on to directly connect to the vMobile through Wi-Fi. So the vMobile will go into basically a server mode for Wi-Fi. Then the app can inform the vMobile what Wi-Fi network to connect to, or networks, so multiple networks, and where the central console is, what the IP is, and then tell it to go back into Wi-Fi client mode, and boom, the vMobile is now available and ready to go. So we take it into consideration, everything that we need to do to control the vMobile right from an app very easily. And then the console can actually control the vMobile as well. So the console is a web browser. You can just bring up a web browser or multiple web browsers, and from there you can control the vMobile if you don't have the app on the phone. And there you can do the same thing the app can do. Load scripts, run scripts, stop scripts, configure the vMobile, all that's available from the console. But also from the console, that's where you're going to be able to create scripts, edit scripts, and then upload scripts or download scripts from the vMobile. So all that is available from the console. And the other thing from the console is the ability to upload files to the vMobile. If you want to change your voice files, for instance, your reference files, you can upload more voice files to the vMobile. Now, when the vMobile records a file during the test, it's going to automatically send the recorded file back to the central system for analysis. But if you want to put more voice files onto the vMobile, you can do it directly from the console. As I mentioned, both narrowband and wideband is supported. Again, pretty much any network. We don't care about the network. We don't care about the phone. We are basically customer experience. So we're the headset to the device, and then controlling the device and letting the device, the mobile phone, connect to whatever network it wants. So we, again, doesn't, and then with the wideband, we can actually, using our analytical tools, we can confirm if wideband was sustained during the call. So if we're making a call from one phone to the other, and at some point it goes down to narrowband, we can confirm what happened, and that's why maybe your voice quality scores have degraded a little bit. So all that's available just through the scripting. So now, as Matt mentioned in the beginning, we still have the VQuad solution. We're not getting rid of the VQuad solution, and now we're introducing the vMobile solution. So we want to make sure that everybody works together. When the vMobile is controlling a phone, it's an independent call. It doesn't have to make a call from, as mentioned, the vMobile can have two phones connected to it, so it doesn't have to make a call from phone 1 to phone 2. It can, both of those phones connected to the vMobile can be fully independent tests. They don't have to be the same test, and they can be calling another phone somewhere else in another area. So the vMobile can be running in location A, and there could be another vMobile in location B, and then the tests are between those. Or it could be vMobile to VQuad. So a VQuad could be sitting at the far end, and now we're making calls to the VQuad. So as you can see in this picture, we've got the vMobile on one side, we've got the VQuad on the other side. Now we're connecting on the vMobile, whether it's a mobile device, a mobile phone, or a mobile radio, or just a headset to whatever device you want. We're then able to generate traffic into whatever cloud you want, then at the other end, there could be the VQuad probe, which can connect to a lot of different types of devices. So in this case, we can go from mobile phone to two-wire analog, or mobile phone to VoIP, no problems. So all that, again, vMobile works with VQuad without any issues, and there's going to be, between the two, there is, one script can control the other script, so we can still send commands from the vMobile over to the VQuad or from the VQuad over to the vMobile. All that's available. And then, again, both the vMobile and the VQuad send all their results, all their events down to a central system into a database where we can access it. So for the central system, again, at the central system, as I mentioned earlier, there are that's where all the analysis is going to take place. So the vMobile is not analyzing the files; it's just transferring them back to the central location. So at the central location, that's where we're going to be able to perform the VQT POLQA test, which is ITU P863, and generate a mean opinion score. We'll also do the one-way and round-trip delay measurements. So from the vMobile, we'll be able to send and receive voice files at the same time, and then transfer the voice file to the central system, and that's where we'll do the analysis for one-way or round-trip delay measurements. We can also provide speech and noise level measurements, RMS power, dropout detection, which is basically we'll record voice and analyze it against a reference voice file, and then let you know, well, yeah, we had some dropouts in the beginning or the middle, some muted voice. It could have been a packet loss. It could have been just muted on the network, whatever. But we'll show you what the recorded file looks like, and if there was any problems with it, and that will give you insight as to why your VQT POLQA score was lower. Frequency analysis, so again, that's the confirmation of whether wideband was sustained or not. And then we can also provide call progress stats, and that's, again, going into the database to show you the call was placed, there was an incoming call, the call was answered, all that information, the caller ID, that's provided. We can also do speech-to-text analysis. So we can record voice, send it to our analyzer, convert it to text, and then analyze that text against reference text. We do this for IVR testing, voicemail testing, things like that. So that's available. And then we can also perform Siri or Google Voice type commands. Basically, connect to Siri and then tell Siri, send an SMS. So that can be done actually using the vMobile scripting. So all this is available, and using both the vMobile and the analysis back at the central system. Okay, so now I just want to get into some of the different types of scenarios for testing and using the vMobile. So large event testing, stadiums, whether they're indoor stadiums or outdoor large events, concerts, what have you. So it's a good idea to do testing in these areas to see if the voice and the data, what's going on with the voice and the data. For instance, at a football game, what happens during halftime or during an intermission or what have you? What happens with the voice and the data? This is when everybody's going to be on their phones, and are your microcell sites, are they sustaining the traffic that you need to at these events. So that's one thing we can do, and it's very easily done with the vMobile. You go into the stadium, all you need is your vMobile in one pocket, a couple phones in the other pocket, you're ready to go. Okay, it's very portable use so that you can go into a car, into a train, walking around, whatever you want to do, in a bus, wherever you are, you can have this vMobile ready to go, and you can start the testing at any time very easily. So ad hoc testing, whenever you need to test, as long as, because the vMobile, it's very light, very portable. So as soon as you want to start testing, hey, let's start testing this area. Boom, you're ready to go. Military and government testing, so very easily put on a truck, on a vehicle, in a backpack, what have you, and now I can test radios, or in some cases mobile phones out in the field with the military, because military is going towards mobile phones as well. Very easy to set up. Again, very portable. That's very important, especially if you're doing walking around testing and such. And then customer premise testing. As Matt mentioned earlier, the VQuad probe is still a good idea to have in the labs in certain areas. Still good to have the vMobile or the VQuad probe, because it supports so much, so many different types of interfaces and so forth, and it supports a higher density. But again, you can have the vMobile in these areas as well, and very easily moved from room to room in a lab environment or an office environment. You can even put it. We show a picture here of the vMobile on a drone. So put the vMobile, a radio, or a phone on there, and now you can see, do testing as the drone is flying around or what have you. So again, very portable, lightweight. It's easy to ship, so you have to transport it from one place to the other very easily. Internal battery, and we're even adding Qi wireless charging to the vMobile, so very easy to charge it, or you can just use these external batteries to recharge the vMobile very easily. It's simple operation on the vMobile itself. There's just there will be some buttons and a couple of interfaces on it, but mostly controlled either through the vMobile app, which reside on any phone or any mobile device, or controlled through the console. And then we're also looking to add an optional case for the vMobile, a very small case, which will have the vMobile and a couple phones and a charging unit onto a little case so that it's more easily transported. So now let's get into, so the vMobile controls the phones, automates the testing, creates all these results, sends everything to the central database in the same manner that the VQuad probe sends everything to the central database. So now when we're at the central database, we can bring up the results using what we call our web viewer, which is just a web browser. And from the web viewer, we can look at results, whether they're the POLQA results or the delay results or any of the other analytical measurement results. We can look at call status. We can look at network status, what's going on in the network, what each VQuad probe or vMobile is doing in the network. Are they running a test? Are they online? Are they connected? Are they not connected? So all that's available directly from the web viewer. And you can filter, query the results, and display them on the screen, and then output them to Excel, to PDF, or to CSV. So all that's available from the web viewer. We're also able to looking at the, so right now what I'm showing you here is basically the NetTest results. So this is one of the screens that is output from the web viewer. And again, you can take this screen, you can filter it on whenever you want. You can filter it on time, as well as a specific test that you've run, or a specific device that you've run, or on anything else pretty much in the database. So a lot of filtering options. And then once you see this screen, you can output it to, as I mentioned, PDF, Excel, or CSV. You can also show it as graphical representation of these results, as I'm seeing here. So here is the voice quality. You can see it as a pie chart. We can also see it as, we also have voice quality as a line graph. So you can have line graphs, bar graphs, pie charts, all that's available. Now the other thing we can do, since we've got the GPS on board with the vMobile, and we also have GPS on the VQuad probe, so all the results can be plotted to Google Maps directly from within WebViewer. So here's a test that we ran in the DC area with our data testing. So this is showing TCP, UDP, and VoIP testing, whether they passed or failed. So you'll see the different color pins, and whether there was a connection or a connection drop. And then actually, if you click any of these pins, you'll get additional information about that specific result. And you can filter on what you're going to see on the Google Maps. You can set up custom displays of the Google Maps, what you're going to see, what the pins are going to look like, what the thresholds are for the pins. All that's available directly from the web viewer. Here's a result for VQT testing, again, in our area, in the DC area. And this is basically just showing pass and fail for POLQA. But we can also show on the same screen call status, if the call was dropped, if the call failed, if the delay measurement passed or failed, if the audio didn't sustain wideband. All that can be plotted on the same Google Maps graph and shown as different icons all through. So a lot of different options to do with the Google Maps. And then we recently set up with the web viewer custom reports. So now you can basically take any result, any parameter within the database, and display it to a single screen. Create calculations. So I want to see the average POLQA results, or I want to see how many results were greater than a specific threshold, or how many tests, the percentage of tests that passed, percentage of tests that failed, things like that. That can all be added to the custom reports, both as tabular and as graphics. So you can see there's line graphs. There, you can the POLQA representation. You can see where my results were. So I could see right there with the one test, I was pretty much at the 4.4 level. So everything looked great. These were great tests. Now the custom reports can be displayed directly on the screen, but again, they can be output to a PDF, Excel, or CSV file. So you can create these custom reports and then output it, and then generate a nice report that you're creating. And the custom reports can also be, let me go back to this. The custom reports can also be scheduled to be generated. So we have something called a scheduler that can basically be set up so that, well, every morning at 9 a.m., let's create a custom report with the last 24 hours of results. And then let's email it to somebody, or let's SMS it to somebody. So we're going to email or SMS the PDF, for instance. or every Monday morning we're going to see the last 7 days of results. Even from the VQuad or the vMobile, we can, after a specific test or a run of tests, we can say, okay, well, let's generate a custom report for all tests that were just run from this device, and then email it or just save it as a file. So all that's available directly from the web viewer, and that works with the vMobile as well as the VQuad probe or the VQuad system. So, that's basically my presentation. Hopefully it wasn't too long, but again, it's this is an ultra portable device. It'll be available later this year, and it just allows testing, portable testing, walking testing, ad hoc testing. It just allows that to be more convenient and easier to set up. So that's why we're introducing this product. Thank you.
Yeah, very good, Rob. Thank you. That was very informative and very well done. So at this point, we're at 9:40 on the East Coast here. We want to open it up to questions. There's probably a few questions that Rob can address for us. Sanjeev is monitoring those and has probably done that. So Sanjeev, do you have any questions that we can discuss at this point?
One question would be, how does the vMobile compare with the current VQuad? I mean, what are the limitations of that, and what are the advantages compared to VQuad probe?
So the VQuad probe, as Matt mentioned at the very beginning, the VQuad probe is still a viable solution. It has several interfaces on it. The 2-wire analog interface, 4-wire analog interface, PTT, Bluetooth. It also has, you can connect to any, or replace a handset on any phone. It's an RJ22 connection. So it has a lot of different devices it can connect to, and it supports up to 12 devices running simultaneously and independent on the same unit. So there's a lot you can do with that. The vMobile supports Bluetooth or mobile radio. So it doesn't have as many interfaces. It doesn't have the density as the VQuad probe, but it's the portability. That's the key here. So trying to walk around with a VQuad probe, or shipping a VQuad probe, or setting up a VQuad probe really quick, let's go out and run with it, you may have some issues, especially because you've got to figure out, well, where we're going to get the power. It still needs power. It's a PC. If you have a laptop connected, well, fine. The laptop has a battery, but we still have to, take all that equipment out and run with it. With the vMobile, you just turn it on, and you're ready to go. The battery is, if the battery's charged, or if it's not charged, you can have a small little charger plugged into the USB interface, and you're ready to go, ready to start testing. So it's just convenience and portability. That's the big difference.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine that, research and development people would be needing this to test their devices and so forth, but it probably also has an application for sort of a maintenance group, or, ongoing support. So what I'm trying to say is, this is a mobile device. It can be thrown sort of in a black box and put into a cab, a bus, or wherever, and it can just be, those people can be driving amongst, doing their thing, and this thing can be reporting back what the status is of the network and so forth. So are you seeing that as, have we had customers, and do you anticipate customers for this to be doing a lot more drive testing, sort of that type of thing?
That's a good question, because there are requirements to, for instance, test an entire region. And the best way to test a region is to throw a test unit in a bus or on a train or something like that, and then wherever that vehicle goes, we're generating tests. The problem is space. So how much space are we offered or allotted inside that vehicle? And also power. Do we have a power source? Do we have the ability to sustain the device for long periods of time? So with the older, or with the what's out there currently, we need a little bit more space because we have to have the unit and the device, the mobile devices and so forth, and that's going to take up a bit of space. And then we have to plug it in or have some sort of a large battery source in order to sustain a certain amount of hours. With the vMobile, it's very small. We just need a little tiny space, a drawer, or a small area in a closet, or what have you. Very, very small, compact, and then it's a battery inside, so it can run for the day, or if you have some sort of a battery source, additional small battery source inside, it'll run for a few days. Now, the other thing about this, I keep mentioning that all the results, all the data, everything goes back to the central system. And it does that through a Wi-Fi connection. If the Wi-Fi connection is somehow interrupted, or if you don't have a Wi-Fi connection, we can't get a Wi-Fi connection on this for this testing. Maybe it's in a subway or something, and we don't have any Wi-Fi. Well, that's fine too, because everything will be saved to the vMobile has an SD card on board, so everything will be saved to the SD card. And then once we get it back, off of that vehicle, or it goes into an area where it has Wi-Fi, then everything's streamed over to the central system for analysis. So, yeah, this would work great for those type of applications.
Hello. I would like to place two questions. First is regarding sampling rate. So you mentioned 8 and 16 kilo samples on the slides. So the question is whether this system also supports 48,000 samples per second because of super wideband testing. And the second question is actually the possibility of analog wired connection to the mobile phone, because I can see only small USB connectors. So the question is whether this analog sound signal goes via those USB cables, or whether this system doesn't support this wired connection, or how it is. Thank you.
Okay. So as far as the sampling rate, for the Bluetooth, it only supports narrowband and wideband. We haven't seen a super wideband Bluetooth module out there, or a phone that supports super wideband through Bluetooth. But for analog, it will support super wideband as well. So it will support 8, 16, and 48 for the analog port. And then your second question about the analog, how we connect to through analog. You're right. You see two USB device or two USB interfaces on the bottom. Actually, one of those USB interfaces, that's going to be our analog port. We're using a USB interface because we get the 6 pins that we need in a very small, platform there. So one of those interfaces is actually the analog. It will have a cable that comes out from that, a connector that comes out from that, and then we'll go to, for instance, a 3.5 millimeter that can connect to your phone. So we can then connect to your phone as a wired headset and support not only the TXRX, but also support pushing the button on the phone, on a headset for the phone. So answer a call, or bring up Siri or Google Voice to place a call, things like that. So we can do all that. That could all be automated. And then if it's not connected to your mobile phone, that same interface will connect to a mobile radio or basically any headset. So one of those USB interfaces will actually be the analog interface. The other one will be a USB interface. Does that make sense?
Thanks. It's clear now. It's a perfect answer to exactly what I was interested in.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we have another question from Alfredo.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to know if, conventional drive tests, they focus on signal strength. So I was wondering if this system can test some signal strengths as well. I'm guessing that it comes from the phone itself. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, so in the same respect as the VQuad will get the signal strength and convert it to RSSI, the vMobile can do the same thing because it has the same Bluetooth connection to the phone, so it can access the same information from the phone. So we currently have two ways to get signal strength. We either get it through the Bluetooth interface. We ask the phone, what's your signal strength? It comes back to us. We convert it to RSSI. Or through our app, our GL NetTest app, and that can get the signal strength. That's basically asking the phone, again, what your signal strength is and bring it back to us. And then since the vMobile can control the data test and the GL NetTest, we can get the signal strength that way. Again, remember that we are connected to the phone as a headset. So we're not an engineering phone. We don't require the phone to be rooted at all. We're just a headset to the phone. So whatever information we can get from the phone in that respect, we do it.
Whether the degraded audio files are stored on the vMobile device?
So, yeah, so the graded files, once you record the file, it gets stored on the vMobile on the SD card, and then we transfer it from the vMobile to the central system where it's analyzed, whether it's analyzed for POLQA or analyzed for any of our other analytical measurements like one-way delay or what have you. If the Wi-Fi connection is not there, they just stay on the vMobile. But once the Wi-Fi connection is there, we can transfer it. We transfer it off the vMobile so that they're at the central system.
Okay. And does vMobile support scripting as well without the mobile app?
Well, the vMobile is completely scripting. So all operations are done through the vMobile script, and it's going to it's similar to the VQuad scripting. Obviously, a little bit different, but so there will be a script editor at the console. That's where you create your scripts or edit your scripts, send it up to the vMobile, and the script will support, placing a call, answering a call, sending voice, recording voice, specifying that this voice file is for a specific analysis, so that the analytical metrics of the central system will know what to do with the file, and grabbing the signal strength, all that stuff, sending any type of AT command to the Bluetooth, all that will be done directly from the scripting.
Yeah, thank you, Rob. I think we are done with the questions.
If anybody else has a question or a comment, you can feel free to email us or give us a call. As stated, we're pretty excited about this, and we're hoping that this is going to be available later this year. Right now we're in development phase of it. We have prototypes of it and so forth, but we're moving along very rapidly, and we have all the design. Everything is set up already. So.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Sanji. Thanks, everybody, for attending. And if you, like Rob just mentioned, you know, info@gl.com is a really good way to get a hold of us. And our website, of course, has all of our contact information on it. So please let us know if you have any questions, want to talk about it a little bit more. We can get into some more details, specifically what your requirements are, your applications are. We can talk to you about that. So with all of that, I think we, again, thank you for attending, and we'll try to take a look on our website for next month's webinar. We'll be posting that here in the next week or two. But thank you very much, and good day to you.